Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of React Native Interface Builder demo. We have a few new features to talk about, and let's go over them. The first new exciting feature we have is project creation and saving. Now you can create brand new projects and work on them incrementally and save your work in progress and come back to them later. Another feature we have is called themes. Themes are style elements you can define that you can share across different screens that maximizes reusability. And the third is a color palette definition. You can have a central location where you can define all the colors that will be used in your app and basically minimize you know um, scattering hexadecimal color codes all through your different style sheets and just have one central location where you'll manage your color. Again, it's to avoid duplication and maximize reusability. And there's a couple of other UI tweaks that we'll go over as we are demoing these features. So this particular project will live in this particular folder that I have copied here. As you can see, the React Native server is already running, and we have a standard default app running from that particular folder. So let's go ahead and create the new app. Just like before, we are going to be recreating this particular tutorial app, React Native tutorial app at ravendelic.com, just like last time. It's the property finder app, but we won't be kind of redoing the whole app. You don't have to sit through another hour worth of video. We'll just do whatever is required to kind of describe these new features. So basically, we'll be creating this search page, and that too, just like these couple of text elements. And in the property detail page, we'll be again creating these two text elements. And as you'll see, the styling is pretty common between these two particular text elements. And so that's where themes come in, and we can reuse styles across these different screens. And similarly, color palette is again, another particular styling that's shared across all these screens. And again, we'll be discussing how to use the color palette for that. So let's go ahead and create our new project. I'll tap the new project button, and I'll say property finder, and I'll paste the location of my project with the trailing slash bar, and I'll say pf, and that's it. We have our new project here. As you can see, it has the default colors template and a theme file and our index.ios.js. Let's turn on design mode and let's show our view hierarchy. First, let's go ahead and create our search page. And we'll say our app is a navigation based app. And we'll say our initial route is our search page. So at this time, we are ready to change our index.ios.js to kind of use our new storyboard definition. So we'll do exactly what we did in the last demo. We'll require our storyboard file. We'll change our render function to use our init screen, and we'll remove all our style elements. When we do this, as you can see, our project will be loaded and to the initial empty search screen. Another thing you'll notice is I have disabled hot reloading and stuck to the live reload. I found that hot reloading gives us more red screens, and I don't want that. Neither do you, I think. So we'll just stick with our live reload, and I think that works better. So let's get back to our search tool, UI tool, and change our title to property finder. Just like the last time, we'll go ahead and drag in a container view. Oh, wrong. Well, this is the wrong, I didn't have this particular thing selected, and I had, instead I had, so let's go ahead and, it's a good example of how you can undo damages. I'll type Control D to delete. That's Control and Delete button, not Control D. And let's go ahead and refresh this. And this time I'll select this and I'll drag the view in here. And I'll refresh this again. Now we are back to the place where we were. I'll change the padding to 30. And I'll say align item to center. So now we have defined the container view, and now we are going to add these two particular text elements. Let's go ahead and add the first one. Let's copy and paste the text, and we'll discuss the style shortly. Now, if you look at the style of this particular element, it's called description, just like the text element that follows it. So again, description, and it has similar style attributes. And if you look at the style attributes, it has a font size of 18 and a color of 656565. And if you look at the property details page, it's the exact same style that's applied to text here. It's font size of 18 and the color is 656565. So this is where theme definition comes in. If you look at the color codes for the text, they are duplicated in a lot of places. For example, in the search results screen, again, you have a text color of 656565. That's where a color palette definition would be useful. That way you don't have to go around using hexadecimal color codes and all different style sheets. So let's go ahead and create a color of 656565, and we'll call it text color. And we'll go back here and we'll say our text has a color of text color, and as you can see, a color of 656565 has been applied to both these elements. And I'll also say the font size is 18. And now that I have these two style elements defined, I'll type Control T to define a theme, and I'll call this my description theme. So as you can see, the theme has been highlighted, and this is description. And just like before, you can see that the color is colors.textcolor and the font size is 18. We'll go back to the search page view, and when you look at this text now, and you look at this drop down, it says that it inherits from the theme description. That's great. So let's go ahead and add the other attributes to it. If you look at this particular definition in the search page, apart from font size of 18 and color 656565, it has a margin bottom of 20 and the text align is center. So let's go ahead and use a margin bottom of 20, and our text align is center. So if you look at this, both these text elements, search for homes to buy and search by file name postcode, have the same exact styling applied to it. So I'm going to create a style. So by the way, you might have already noticed it, the last demo, we created a style for these two buttons, and we reused them. So this is just a rehash of the same concept. So I'm trying to illustrate the difference between styles and themes. Styles are specific to a particular screen, and themes go across your entire app. So I'll type Control S, and I'll say this one is search text style. And that's the style for all the search text in this particular screen. So I can come back here, and this time when you look at the drop down, instead of the themes, the selected style is search text, because that's what is the base definition for this particular text element. So just like last time, we can go ahead and drag another text, and just like before, we can say the style is search text, and the same exact styling will be applied to it. And we can copy this particular text and put it in there. So now you have all the styles applied for this particular element. Now another UI tweak that I talked about is if you mouse over any of this particular UI item, you'll see all the style attributes that have been applied to them. So this is a helpful way to find out how any particular UI element gets rendered. So another feature you might find helpful is if you do a mouse over any of these elements, you'll find a red highlight that will display where in the particular UI this particular element is located. So you can mouse over the entire tree and the elements will be highlighted. This is a useful way of navigating through a UI without having to select a particular item, and just look at the rendering of each particular UI element. So let's go ahead and create the property page. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create these two text elements: 3-bed flat with 2 bathrooms and penthouse apartment located blah blah blah. And if you can see here, these are the two text elements that have the style of description applied to them. So we're just going to create those two particular text elements without creating this image and all this other price and this gray background. We're not going to do any of that because they're not. There's nothing new there, just like what we did the last time. So let's go ahead and create this particular screen. We'll call it the property screen. Go here and type property. And we'll say property detail. We're going to drag a simple view in, the container view, and that's this particular container view here. And looks like there is no styling applied to it, simply a margin top, and so we're not going to mess with that. We're just going to add the two text elements to it. So text number 1, so let's go ahead and change the style. So just like before, what we're going to say is this one has a theme of description applied to it. So as you can see, that text has been rendered with the exact same style attributes of font size is 18 and color is 656565. Let's go ahead and make the text more useful. We'll call it 3-bed, 2 bath, 3-bed flat, 2 bathrooms. 3-bed flat, 2 bathrooms. Now, if you look at this style definition here, this one has a margin of 5 applied to it. So let's go ahead and do this. Add a margin of 5. So if you look at this, you do a mouse over. Well, basically you can look at the different style elements that have been applied to it, just like we discussed the last time in the previous 5 minutes ago. Let's go ahead and add the second text element, which is penthouse apartment located on the second and third floors. Just like before, you can type Control D to duplicate it. But if you do that, then you won't have any style definitions. And so you might lose all the new attributes you have created. So let's just define a style. We'll type Control S again, and we'll just type property. So if you look at it, property description is a style that's specific to this screen that is derived off of description and has a few new attributes applied to it. So you can see that its base is description, and then it has an additional margin of phi applied to it. So we'll come back here. As you can see here, just like before, this one now says it has a style of property description. Let's go ahead and add another text here. And again, we'll say this has a style of property description. And let's go ahead and add all that text. Penthouse apartment located on the second and third floors. Blah, blah, blah. So that's it. As you can see, you can look at all the style definitions like we discussed a few minutes ago. And now you have all the color definitions and theme definitions, and you even have styles that's specific to a particular screen. So like I said, let us say somebody comes in and says, oh, all the text in our app should be, I don't know, let's go back to the theme color of this app, which is 48BBEC. I think that's what it is. So just for fun, we'll change our text color to be this. So when you do that, as you can see here, the text color has changed. And if you look at search page view, even the text there would now have this new particular color. So that's the advantage of using a color palette as well as a theme. And so similarly, like you can select this theme and you can say all the descriptions would now have a font size of, let us say, 15, make them smaller. So now your text has become smaller because you change the theme. So the search page text has become smaller, and if you look at the property view, even that would have smaller text now. Continuing with our demo, now that we have all of these screens defined, let's go ahead and reload our project. If you can see here, the recent projects tab is empty. I'll do a refresh of this particular application, which is kind of like a relaunch, and you'll see that the property finder project will be added here and we can load it. Let's do a command R. So as you can see here, the property finder app is right here. And if you click on it, our entire app gets loaded again. The text color is what it was defined as. And you have our theme definitions. So it's basically wherever it is that you left it at. So that's project saving and reloading. Uh, Hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.